Hi, this is Mike Middleman, your personal career coach. I help people get top jobs in financial services. Today we discuss my invitation for you to stop reading the layoffs headlines, since they really warp your view of what's really happening. The reality is the job market is not great, and you could be laid off. However, let's not overreact at the same time, just from what we read. Let's look at the current layoff numbers. If you read any major news service, you'll see a dichotomy. If you examine the unemployment rate statistics, you will see a rate of 3.5%. That's tied for the lowest number in 20 plus years. However, if you examine popular press like Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Bloomberg, you'll read about the following layoffs. Amazon, 18,000. Google, 12,000. Goldman, 3,200, etc., etc. So which is it? Is the market good or is the market bad? Well, with respect to the unemployment rate, it's basically a blue-collar gauge. So for most of my listeners and readers, it's meaningless. So let's look at the layoff numbers we just discussed. So Goldman has fired about 3,200 employees, or about 6% of its workforce. Okay. Well, they grew over the past 2 years from about 46,000 to 58,000 professionals. That's a 25% increase. So over the past 2 years, they added 12, they fired 3,200. That's still a net increase of 9,800 jobs. Not so bad. Similar story with Morgan Stanley. They've grown over the past 2 years to increase by 26,000 employees. Again, about 25%. And they recently laid off about 2,000 people, or about 1,500. So you can see the numbers aren't that bad. And that's kind of amazing given the fact that at both Goldman and Morgan Stanley, investment banking revenues were about half of what they were in the prior year. Even if you examine Google and Amazon and all the other big tech, you will see layoffs that are 5 to 6% of their workforce or lower. So if you want the full scoop on technology-related layoffs, you can check out layoffs.fyi. But again, be careful what you read. The headlines are dangerous because newspapers and news platforms need to sell. And bad news sells much better than good news. So I invite you to stop reading the headlines, or at least read them with an educated eye and keep calm. I hope you found this video on layoffs helpful. If you'd like more career tips, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks.